My name is Robert Melnick. I'm at the University of Oregon. I'm director of the Cultural Landscape Research Group, which is part of the Department of Landscape Architecture in the College of Design. We've been working on the Los Alamos project now for about a year, and seemed like a great opportunity to share our ideas with other people, and also it would encourage us to learn from other people. So it's both talking and listening at the same time. As you well know, I'm an absolute fan of NCPTT. So any excuse to kind of once again meet up with old friends and meet new friends and new people is always a great opportunity. If I have to look back on it this morning, the challenges of addressing preservation at a site like Minuteman Missile National Park was something that I learned. I actually love the fact that they were intent upon preserving and then presenting for interpretation of visitors the kind of everyday aspects of life, the mops and the watering can, and it wasn't just the stuff that it's remembered for, but it helps us to understand that people lived there and they had a life there. And I think that's something that I learned just from watching that. But there are other projects as well that were just excellent. I think NCPTT is doing quite well with this series. I'm really glad to see new topics, new arenas, things that other people are not doing. I think that's the biggest challenge for NCPTT, given its location and given its focus. Getting out there, doing symposia that are not in Natchitoches, which is not the easiest place to get to, but is a remarkable place nonetheless, but also an opportunity for people to take on topics that otherwise they wouldn't take on. I was very impressed at this symposium with how few people there were from universities. That most of the people presenting, and I think most people attending, are from agencies or other organizations. Just a few of us are from universities. And that is very atypical for these kind of meetings. And so I think that's reaching out to those people is really a great idea. I think and this is not my idea, but I will still use it because I think it's a good idea. I think our heritage of the future is going to be looking back at this era of climate change. And we're going to, just as we look back on the CCC, or we look back on the Industrial Revolution, or we look back on, name the period you're talking about. And I think a conference at least every 5 years, a symposium every 5 years, says, okay, in the last 5 years, what do we know about what's happening to these valuable resources? They're being affected in ways that we don't know and we could never predict. One of my big issues right now with the way preservation is handled in this country is that all the preservation standards assume a constant environmental milieu. And frankly, that doesn't exist anymore. So going back and saying, okay, we'd like work from the past 5 or 10 years maximum. How have the effects of climate change? I think climate change is too big a headline. We've got to talk more detail. Has it been earthquakes? Has it been storms? Has it been floods? Has it been drought? Has it been fires? How have these things affected historic and cultural resources, whether they're landscapes or buildings or archaeological sites or other sites, to do that on a regular basis, and for NCPT to establish itself as the place where every 5 years that is done, I think it would be a major, major contribution to the field.